Hey everybody, welcome to the video. Welcome to the show. Today's the Saturday show. I was already recording a little bit, but I gotta be careful because if you guys notice, I got a new mic. Let me know how the audio sounds, and I think it was a little bit too close. This is a really sensitive mic, so a little bit too close, and I'd make certain sounds, and I can see the sound bar on the bottom here on my screen. It would just go like flashing red, and I'm like, okay, that's probably too loud, and I don't want to blow out anybody's ears. So let me know how it sounds. I played it back, and everything sounds pretty good to me. But I want to be cautious, and I don't want to blow people's eardrums out if I laugh or anything like that. But we got some great what solds. We'll talk about whatnot a little bit. I don't really have any other news. Please like the video, thumbs up, subscribe, comment down below, and hit the bell notification to get notified when we drop these videos. But what are we gonna do? We're gonna go watch Gladiator. We were gonna go tonight, but probably go tomorrow. Everyone's a little bit tired, so we'll probably go tomorrow, Saturday. Go watch Gladiator. I'm a huge fan of ancient history. I mean, we wouldn't be here today without Rome and its existence, and that's what Gladiator is about. It's about the Roman Empire. Christianity really wouldn't be what it is without Rome. Basically, for those of you that don't know, Rome played a very pivotal role in shaping religion, and for the most part, they were accepting of all religions for the most part. Obviously, they have their own religion, or what they believed in, different multiple gods. But they were tolerant of others. And in history, it was the Emperor Nero that kind of outlawed Christianity by using them as a scapegoat for the burning of Rome, which many people attribute to Nero. There's really no evidence, but a lot of speculation that attributes the burning of Rome to Nero, Emperor Nero. But he blamed Christianity, which then kind of outlawed it. In the Roman Empire, you're pretty much at risk if you were within the borders of the actual Roman capital city or close. It wasn't so heavily enforced. In the further out you got away from Rome, it wasn't so much enforced, the outlaw of Christianity, but within Rome it was. So, and eventually, when Rome did split between the West and the East. The Eastern Empire also kind of centered around the city of Constantinople. It was the Emperor Constantine's city, and he was the emperor of the Eastern Empire, and attributed the victory of a big battle to Christianity, and therefore made Christianity the religion of the land. And where we are today, the rest is history, as they say. So, and then, obviously there's now there's different sects of Christianity and all that. You have your Catholics, your Baptists, your Pentecostals, and all that. It goes on and on. The list goes on and on. Different, slight variations of the way, people interpret, like, the Bible, I guess, or the beliefs, But I'm a big fan of. One of the reasons why I'm a fan of history, study history, is because I really like going back to the basics. I want to see, because a lot gets lost in translation. We've had hundreds, thousands of years, of since the creation of many things, of society, of civilizations, of religion, and I always like to go back to the basics and formulate my own kind of opinions. It's engineering me. I went to school for computer engineering, so it's the engineer, it's the mind, the way I think. I always want to know how things work, the tinkerer, how things work, break it all down, take it all apart, get down to the basics, and formulate my own thoughts, opinions on things in life. But I got my fancy glass out. I don't know if you guys saw that, but I got my fancy. It's actually etched Hardy, which is a I it's a distillery or a winery. I'm not 100% sure, really. I found it I found a bunch of these at Goodwill. I picked them all up, and I believe it's a distillery. I can't really find too much information out there what they currently do, but really, really cool. This is if you watch Scotch drinkers, Scotch, those distilleries. You watch any, on YouTube, watch any of those distilleries over there in Scotland and all that. They'll use glasses like this for tasting. So I consider it a fancy whiskey sipping glass. But all that to say, we're gonna go watch Gladiator 2 this weekend. Huge fans of the original, of course, Russell Crowe, and we'll see that the part 2. As far as news goes, USPS has announced they're going to raise rates next year, which no surprise. And I've been talking about this. Don't get comfortable with the fact that these winter, right now during the peak holiday shipping season prices, they will revert back come like January 19th, I believe, or somewhere around there. But nonetheless, I mean, the price is going to go right back up. So don't get settled with don't rest on your laurels, I guess you can say. Old world speak or old world cliche. I don't know. With the fact that prices will go back down, because they will go down, but they will go back up. So just be aware of that. Prices will go back up for USPS, and they will go up again probably in the second half of next year as well too. So just be aware of that. Whatnot. Okay, so I popped into a couple of shows, and I dropped a short on my channel regarding this. I have sold on Whatnot. I've had several shows, and basically just to clear out inventory that we've had. I think it was last year or so we did that. They keep bugging me to do another show, get back in there, but I don't really source for Whatnot. It's a different way of sourcing. You need a lot of inventory, and we just don't source that way. I mean, I could change the whole way I do things, but I'm all in on eBay. I'm doubling down on eBay. I'm going all the way with eBay. They have been reaching out to me to do another show, and I do follow people on there, pretty much collectibles and a lot of Lego. A lot of people that sell Legos on there. I've purchased many figures from there. I purchased the Dino Rider lot from there. So pretty much those are the people that I follow, and I keep up on shows from time to time. Not very often. I'll jump in there from time to time. However, I knew some people were having some pretty big shows coming up here this past week. So I went in to go look, and I've seen all the stuff on YouTube about fakes, about Whatnot is just a place full of fakes, counterfeits, people calling people out back and forth, whatever. Yeah, I didn't really put too much stock into it. I wasn't really, paying too much attention to it. But I went on Whatnot, and I was like, all right, let me just, see what's going on. What, not thinking about fakes or anything like that, just going on to check out people's shows. And oh my God, oh my Lord. Well, I shouldn't, nonetheless, I was a little shocked because there were blatant just straight up counterfeits being sold. I'm like, whoa, what the, sometimes, through the screen, you can't really tell. You're like, okay, maybe it is, maybe it isn't, maybe that's what it is, maybe that's what it is. I can't really tell. It's on screen. This was obvious. Maybe it's to the trained eye. I don't know. But I was like, wow. And some of these people should know these are seasoned sellers, seasoned people in selling online. I was like, wow, those are completely fake and counterfeit. That's illegal. Illegal. It's plain and simple. It's illegal to sell them. Have I purchased counterfeit items before? Yes. Was it illegal for them to sell it to me? Yes. Whether you know about it or not, it's illegal to sell it. It's your job to make sure those items are real items, legitimate items. And some of these pieces were, fashioned in a way to look like, basically they were Disney items, and they looked like from Disney movies. Someone even asked in the chat, I was there long enough to hear someone asked, are these, real Disney items? And the explanation was, I don't know, but they're sterling silver. So I mean, that's not an excuse. That is not an excuse to sell counterfeit items. They are silver, so therefore, whether or not they're real doesn't matter because they're silver. Well, in my short, I believe I mentioned, about premium materials. No matter if it's made with a premium material or not, if it's slapped with a name, like let's say, I dropped my Louis Vuitton video the other day. If it says Louis Vuitton cashmere, you better make sure that it truly came from Louis Vuitton. It doesn't matter what the material is. It doesn't matter how much the material is, how much value the material has. It could be 14 karat gold, but yet shaped like maybe like a Chanel earring or something. If it did not come from Chanel, it is counterfeit. You cannot sell it, promoting it as Chanel. You can promote it as scrap metal. I mean, he could have promoted it as scrap silver, but he didn't do that. Did not do that. And a lot of these people should know. The only pass I'll give a lot of these people is that I noticed another person, like I said in my short, another person was selling fake designer bags. Wow, this is wild. I didn't really believe all the talk online about how many fakes and counterfeits were being sold on Whatnot, and obvious ones too at that. I didn't really believe it 100%, but wow, when I went on there myself and to other channels that I don't typically look at, you got to be careful out there. And these people that are selling need to be careful. Whatnot needs to be careful. It is, it's the Wild West over. It's the Wild West over on Whatnot. And Whatnot needs, in my video, in my short video, I mentioned, Whatnot needs to, get a rein on this. They need to, everyone's talking about how eBay's late to the game with live selling. Well, or remember when Poshmark was trying to get through to live selling, and everybody was like, wow, Poshmark is dropping the ball on live selling and da da da. Well, this is the problem with live selling. This is the issue with it. If they're, it's way too easy to get away with selling counterfeits and fake items, and it shouldn't be done. Whether or not the person is even cares if it's counterfeit or not, because I know a lot of people buy, counterfeit items anyway. It's nonetheless, it gives online selling just a bad rap, a bad name. And I sell online, so I don't want that attached to me at all. I carefully inspect every single item. One of the reasons why I don't buy Louis Vuitton purses exactly. I bought that Louis Vuitton shirt, but that was a low buy-in cost for me. It did turn out to be legitimate. But one of the reasons why I do not buy Louis Vuitton bags, I really, really stick to, Fossil. I stick to Coach, because I know Coach. I know, other brands. Fossil, it can be faked. I've never seen a fake before, but it could be faked. Louis Vuitton is just way too difficult. I really, really have no idea when it comes to Louis Vuitton. Yeah, and there's plenty of Louis Vuitton I could potentially buy and resell. It's so hard for me to determine if it's real or not, so I just don't even dabble in that. I've talked about watches. Watches are one of my number one categories on eBay, but I don't dabble in mechanical automatic watches. Rolexes, the fakes are just, they're too good. They are way, way too good nowadays. And you could, look at it. It could be gold. It could be, made of 18 karat gold and have a name Rolex on it. They're using all these premium materials just to pass it off as a fake. And not only that, everything will look completely good on the outside, but then you go on the inside, it could be fake on the inside. And, you need special tools to open up some of these higher end watches. So you might not even know until your buyer gets it, and then they take it in to get it serviced, and they're like, hey, this is not, legitimate Rolex. People will go to incredible lengths to fake an item, and you have to be cautious. I stay away from categories where it is dangerous, where I'm not really comfortable with, for that reason, because I don't want to be known as someone that sells fake or counterfeit items. You sell one, you sell two, the word gets around, and I don't want that to happen to me. Oh, I think I didn't finish my thought on why I think some of these people are selling counterfeits. Maybe purposefully not knowing, is because they have only been selling the last few years, maybe 3 4 years ago, when everybody was starting to get into the selling online game, reselling game. You know, they just got into it and they don't think it's a big deal. Those of us that have been here for so long, I've been doing this since 1999. Those of us that have been doing this for so long, we know that we cannot be doing this, and we know it's illegal, and it's not it's not a gray area. It's black and white, and we just don't do it. These other people can keep doing it, and eventually, it'll come around. Whatever it is will come around. But you got to be cautious. You got to be cautious when it comes to counterfeit to fakes. Be warned. You really can't trust the feedback either on whatnot. I've purchased from some Lego people that I've received items in from them, and I can go through Legos and authenticate them myself. And the people I buy from, I've purchased from before. They've sent me legitimate Legos, so I continue to purchase from them. So those are my thoughts on whatnot. Now let's go ahead and on fakes. Let's go ahead and look at what sold today, or not today. When did these sell? These sold over the past this past week, actually. Sometimes I'll pull some items from previous weeks if I remember. There's so many sales going on. Like sometimes I'm like, hey, that's a cool one. I should show that. But it maybe sold last Sunday or last Monday, and I just completely forget about it. And sometimes I'll remember it, and I'll just bring it forward so I can show you guys. But these all sold this last week. But some cool items that I really, really think should be on the lookout for. Excuse me. Okay. Oh, I need to reset the screen. Hold on. Oh, man. I was not prepared. My face gone. I can't even see right now. No, it's almost gone. Ooh, whoa, hold on. Sorry about that, everybody. I was not prepared today. All right. I went and got some pizza too for dinner from a local spot. If you guys are ever find yourself in the San Jose area, check out Legends Pizza. Really, really delicious pizza. Very, very good. Okay. I think we're set now with the screen. Sorry about the whole messing everything up here. But first off, we have a Buddha bowl. This is Elian McPherson Buddha bowl, gray soup, handheld. So this one is really, really cool. And we have some bowls, not necessarily this design, but similar, where you kind of put your thumb in through the actual opening there, and you kind of cradle the bowl like this. I guess you can hold it like this too, but it'd be kind of awkward. It's meant to like have your thumb in there and kind of cradle the bowl, and then you have your soup here. It's a really, really nice, really, really well-made bowl. It is signed on the bottom, and it's very, very difficult to read, but it says Elian. I believe it's pronounced Elian, E-L-A-N. Really, really cool. Google image helped me find out who the person was that made this bowl. And really, really cool. Like I said, we have a collection of 4 of these already. Similar to these in style. And this one I've had sitting around. I'm like, I'm going to sell it eventually. I'm just going to sell it. It was only a one, just a lonely in our cupboard. And I'm like, I'll just go and sell it. I thought it'd be kind of cool if I found some more of these. But I never did. And, they sell for pretty good money here. Let me get on there. Speaking of Whatnot, I just got just got a notification from Whatnot right now, asking about selling on there. They keep bugging me about going back to sell on there. Okay. See, I was not prepared at all today. I was not prepared, but we're getting the video out. I guess this is I shouldn't even make excuses because this is how it is. $26.59 is what this bowl sold for, and they pay $10.04 in shipping, and this went in a 975 box. So really, really cool. Nice piece. Keep your eye out for these bowls. It looks like a mug, but it's not. It's a bowl, and it's meant to, like I said, meant to be cradled in your hand. So it kind of warms up your hand, on a nice cold day. It's getting really cold. These style of bowls really, really are a game changer when it comes to warming up as you're enjoying a nice soup or stew. All right, you can probably even have cereal on that too, but your hand will get cold. I mean, if you have cold cereal. Okay. And next item here are some coins. Now, these are Intel. I believe these are like, some companies, they offer their own little internal money system. These were from Intel, Intel Recognition Buck Coin Token. I threw token in there because they kind of look like Chuck E. Cheese tokens to me. And they said they were from California. I didn't have a picture of the flip side, but it was from Intel California. So it said California on there. I put California in the title. Gold tone. I used the gold tone. I used gold, but I didn't want anybody to mistake it as being real gold. So I put tone in there as well too. So this is a set of 5. I have a bunch of these. I think I have like close to the 30 or so sets of 5 listed right now. But I got this in a huge bundle of other items, and it's already paid for itself. So this is all pure profit at this point. I mean, they're not selling for, we're not like, like I always say, we're not getting rich off these things, but this is icing on the cake. Icing on the cake. $8.32 is what 5 of these coins sell for. It's just 5 little coins. They're about the size of a nickel. $8. Someone paid $8. Someone paid over $8 because it was $5.09 to ship it out as well too. Just a really cool, just a little novelty thing. These tech people like to collect tech stuff. Trust me, I collect all kinds of weird, funky. I was just out yesterday at Goodwill and I found this very, very old, like, cooler for a graphics card. It probably can't even use it on anything modern nowadays, but it was so cool. It just took me right back, to when I was building computers in the early 2000s, and really, really cool. So, computer people, we're geeks, and we collect stuff from our favorite companies. So, really, really cool. Keep your eye out for these things. Some really cool stuff. Not necessarily all Intel, but these were just unique enough. Like, I stay away from my Intel backpacks, Intel clothing. These were just super unique and super cool that I thought, they definitely could get sold, and they sure did. They're selling. They are selling. Next, I don't want to spike the volume here. Next item, a tapestry purse. Keep your eye out for tapestry items, purses. They do incredibly well. They sell incredibly fast. This, only lasted about 2 hours in the store. I might have undersold it. I might have been able to get a little bit more for it, but I was okay. We're making great profit on this item. Vintage tapestry cottage purse. I think it just says village. It says Village Cottage is what it said. Village Cottage. The Village College is the brand. No clue what that is, really. I just knew, or my wife knew actually, because she's the one that found this. We just knew that tapestry purses do incredibly well. Vintage tapestry cottage purse, women's handbag. It had a shoulder strap on the inside. It also had 2 accessory pouches as well. Really, really cool. Sold incredibly well. I guess you can also, let me see. Let me see what it sold for. What did it sell for? I think it was 35. Let me just double check really quick. Was it 35? Well, I need to check anyway. Not double check really quick. I'm going to check and tell you. $35 is what it sold for. $12.41 is what they paid in shipping. So keep your eye out for tapestry bags. Tapestry just does really well. It's a great keyword to use as well too. So cool. And a cool scene on it. Like old school pilgrimage, heading west style. I could have probably used Western and all that. But nonetheless, sold within a couple hours. So really, really cool. Next, I just featured a Disney Aluni. I'm not sure to pronounce it properly, but I just sold a hat, and these ears just sold as well too shortly after that. So these ears, let me tell you what these sold for really, because Disney ears are kind of a dime a dozen. So finding the good ones, the unique ones, the ones that'll sell for good money, is a little difficult. $44.26. So these are definitely an outlier. They paid $5.80 to ship this out. And this will go. Oh, that purse will probably go in a 8 by 12 8/6 box. This will go out in a padded poly bag. Wrap it a couple times in a bubble wrap and send this off in a padded poly bag. We want to protect that band in there from potentially breaking. But look out for this Disney Hawaii stuff. It's a little more unique than maybe Disneyland or Disney World, because it's in Hawaii. Not everybody has the opportunity to go to Hawaii. And even Disney Hawaii at that, it is incredibly expensive. I'll tell you that right now. But keep your eye out for it. And not only that, it's Christmas. It's Christmas themed. It has the Santa hat on there. Really cool item. I need to do a thumbnail, so I'm gonna do a thumbnail. Oh, I gotta get right with my finger. I gotta get right like where I'm pointing. Okay, got a thumbnail. Cool item. Disney stuff does. Disney is incredibly popular. It sells all the time. You just gotta price it right, and you gotta find the items that will sell for a higher dollar amount. I mean, you could definitely sell the $5 to $10 items, but typically the buy cost is gonna be rather high because Disney is priced up. Everybody knows Disney's expensive, so when you go to buy Disney at Goodwill, you go to the flea market, everybody's gonna be, oh well, that's Disney. I gotta charge like $10 or $15 for that. Well, then there goes all your profit. So keep your eye out for this Disney Hawaii stuff. It does incredibly well. A backpack. Now I didn't know anything about this backpack. I picked it up because why? It was $1. It was a $1 backpack at the flea market. A Diana Design Shadow Peak. After I got home, I looked it up. I figured it's got to be worth more than $1. It's got to be worth at least $20. It's like a hiking, backpacking style backpack. That's why I have the keywords in there, as you can see. And it turns out it's a pretty good name to look out for. Diana Designs. This sold for $50. Let's see. $52, and they paid $16.05 in shipping. So they paid a little bit higher in shipping because of the dimensions of the box. The back on this backpack is very, very stiff, so I didn't want to crunch it down into a smaller box. So I'm going to put this in a 20 by 12 by 6 box, and it'll fit perfectly right inside one of those boxes. And it did really well for $1. Turning $1 into 50, well, after, fees and everything, probably somewhere around 42, 45-ish dollars or so. Nonetheless, I paid $1 for this backpack, and it's sold. That's great profit. Great profit. Keep your eye out. It is a vintage name. So vintage, gotta throw that in there. If it is vintage, I've said that, I said before I was getting away from vintage, and then I talked to some people at an eBay event, and they said I should be using vintage. So I'm going to be using vintage from now on. So I'll be throwing it in there. If it's vintage, I'm throwing vintage in there. Again, just remember, vintage, everyone assumes vintage. Well, everyone, according to somebody that said vintage is 20 years older or more. Really, again, it's just someone said that. There's no like the government didn't say this is vintage 20 years or older. No, it's just a general consensus. So in computer language, a vintage item is 5-10 years old. That's by 10 years old, it's ancient history when it comes to computer tech talk. So yeah, I tend to stick to the 20-year rule. I don't want to get attacked by the vintage police. So really, really cool. I think that's the last item. That is the last item. Let me know what you guys think of these items down below. Let me know what you guys think about the on Whatnot. Are you guys selling on Whatnot? Have you seen what I've seen? it's the Wild West on whatnot, and they really, really need to get their act together. Yeah, because it gives it, if not for them their own sake, for their own aspirations to obviously go IPO. I keep talking about that, and yeah, that's their goal. That is their goal. That they need to clean things up, and also too, just as an online seller, don't give us all a bad name. Please don't give all online sellers a bad name, and don't use the excuse that you're new or somewhat new, or get the knowledge is out there nowadays. Get the knowledge. Make sure it's legitimate before you try to sell it. And that's it. That's all I have to say. Let me know in the comments down below what you guys think. And hopefully we will do a live on Sunday. So I'm looking forward to it. Thank you guys for watching. See you in the next video. Hey, you've made it to the end. Thank you guys for watching. If you enjoyed this content, please like the video by hitting the thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel by hitting my little round icon down below. It really does help us out here. Also, you'll find a couple of selections. You'll see a playlist of videos to watch and my most recent video that I did upload.